Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 269. Barry here with you and Matt Brown. And welcome along to you and to all the viewers out there. Well, some positive news now. Yesterday, a 3-year-old boy was found safe and well after 4 days missing in the bush. And to tell us more about that, good morning to Matt Brown.
Morning, Barry. Thanks for having me back, mate, live in the studio. Always good to be here with you, mate. Yes, I did hear that news about the young child being found, which is awesome news. I look forward to hearing the facts behind this, Barry, to see what actually happened. Because it sounds to me that I think that someone might have known something. So we'll wait and see. I think we've got more to come on this.
We have, but we will get to that shortly. But to open episode 269 today, I have with me, can you guess what it is? It is a pie maker cookbook. Now,
Yeah.
if you've got a pie maker at home, ladies and gentlemen, go and get a pie maker cookbook, proudly brought to you by the Woman's Weekly. $15 this cost me yesterday from the news agency, so if you're in the mood for making pies, please do go ahead and make them. Here's Matt now for his opening sequence on making pies.
Gee, Barry, I think the opening section's going to be a quick one. I think we might have to start the show and get cooking some pies. You made me hungry with these pies, but it's a good segue, Barry, to find out what's left in the kitchen. And instead of throwing it away, we can use the good old trusty pie maker.
Okay, now a pie maker, you've got to know how to use it. Here's Matt now.
Well, Barry, I've got a pie maker at home, but that's my better half's, and we were going to have a crack at it on the weekend, but I think it's pretty easy. You just put. I've even seen people use bread, Barry. You put bread in a pie maker instead of filo pastry, and then they fill up with any of the leftovers, if it's mince or vegetable if you're a vegetarian, and then put the bit of bread on top and close the pie maker and wait, I think, about 10-15 minutes. Is that correct?
Well, yes, 10 to 15 minutes, guys. So here we have a delicious looking pie, and like Matt said, he's hungry just thinking about it.
I am, mate. Now, do you have a favourite pie that you would like to make up? See if we can get one happening today.
Maybe apple.
Apple pie, good old trusty apple pie.
So let me read this bit here. Savory pies. Pies perfect for lunch or dinner. From classics like the beloved Aussie meat pies to taco pies, and even some vegan options. Here's Matt now.
Yeah, as Barry was reading out there's plenty of options to make a pie. Pretty much as you can think of it, you can put it in a pie maker. We had a look last week, Barry, on YouTube. There was one he was doing bacon and eggs, in the pie maker. Put his bread in there and cracked an egg open and whacked it in. I think he was one of your favourite, the comedian. What was his name?
Greg.
Greg, yes. He was showing us how to make all those nice pies.
Now, if you're a smoky chicken and corn mother, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this one is for you. Here's Matt now.
Oh, Barry, I can only guess what's put in that pie. What would be in that one? Is it the chicken, corn? Is it
Okay, for this recipe, guys, you need 1 sheet of frozen short crust pastry broad, 1 sheet of frozen puff pastry broad, some shredded barbecue chicken, some sour cream, okay, and uh, 6 slices of chorizo
chorizo? Yeah, the old sausage, Barry.
and the corn kernels and green onion, 1 egg beaten lightly, and some extra sour cream and Tabasco sauce.
Ooh.
So there is the recipe. If I can get it up on screen there.
Do you want a hand, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. I'll show that way you can talk, Barry.
And there it is there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, and it makes 4 pies, guys.
4 pies, Barry. That's 2 each, eh? 2 each for us?
Yep, so this Woman's Weekly Pie Maker's Cookbook, if you are out and about, ladies and gentlemen, please do go out and get it. Here's Matt now.
Very good. You know, the pies, I remember meat pies as a kid going to the football or something, Barry. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of meat and a lot of nutrition in there. So, guys, you know, meat pies or vegetable pies or whatever, homemade, are a very, very healthy option. There's no rubbish put in there, no preservatives. It's really just your leftovers and a bit of pastry. So, yeah, knock yourselves out.
But if you don't want to use pastry, guys, use bread and it will fit just as well. Here's my outsider.
Yes, if you're lacking time and you want just something quick, you don't want to thaw out all the pastries and get some bread, like Barry said. It's an easy option. Everyone's got a loaf of bread around the house. It's easy enough to put into the little pie slots and throw in whatever you feel should take your fancy, Barry.
So this is a double episode. This is a triple episode of episode 268 going on to episode 269. Okay, so why waste money going to a shop buying a cheap, nasty pie? Here's my outsider.
Exactly right, Barry. I think, you know, a pie from a pie store these days is, I think the cheapest is around $5. So, you know, you can get some good quality mince if you want to and just make it up yourself. And you'll have a lot more than just one mince, one pie, Barry. Like you said, that one made 4 from that recipe. I'm sure that you can make quite a few healthy options there.
Okay, so don't waste $5, guys. Save it for a rainy day. Look up a recipe from this Pie Maker Cookbook. Okay, Matt and I urge you today to go to the newsagent right now. $15 is all that it will cost you, and you've got a mouth-watering Pie Maker cook. Excuse me. You've got mouth-watering pie recipes to try right now using a pie maker. So don't waste time preheating your oven, guys. Whack on the pie maker, spoon your filling in, okay? And you've got yourself 4 mouth-watering, savoury or sweet pies. Go on, whip one up right now, and if you've got a breakfast pie like bacon and eggs, okay, don't waste time thawing out pastry, guys. Why bother? Just use up bread and stick it in the pie maker and crack open some eggs, fry up some bacon, sizzle, 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 and then sprinkle it with cheese and then cook in the pie maker until your bacon is crisp
Yeah.
and your cheese is melting and all the bread is golden brown. You will love it. Here's Matt now.
I'm dribbling, Barry. I'm dribbling. Like the expectation of having one of these pies, you're really selling it today. Oh, yum, guys.
And if you're in the mood for making mini apple pies, guys, chew up your apples. Why waste time going out and buying a cheap, nasty pie? Because you don't know what's in a nasty apple pie. Here's Matt now.
Yeah, Baz, I'm with you there. I find that apples are very easy to decore. You leave the skins on, guys, because that leaves the healthy element. Just stew them up. You just cut them up, decore them, put them in the microwave for 6 minutes, and then they'll be stewed. You've got all the juices and healthy apples, and straight into your pie maker. By the time you're putting it in the pie maker, it gives you time, Barry, to get out the plates, the spoons, the ice cream or custard or whatever you love on your pie. And there you go, healthy as.
So don't waste time, ladies and gentlemen, going to a crappy baker. Okay, throw out some pastry, make some apple pie, and go on. We urge you to. Here's Matt now.
I think we better go and find the pie maker in the house, Barry. I think that's our mission today because my lips are getting very, very ready for one of these lovely pies, Barry.
So, because during this lockdown, guys, there's nothing better than having a pie maker at home, okay? Chewing up your fruit, okay? Go on, we urge you to today. Even right now, if you've got the kids home, here's my offsider.
Yes, the pie maker, guys, pull it out. Even if you don't have one, at the moment we can't get to the shops, but you can order online. You can buy a cheap one, I think, from Kmart for about $10, Barry, and then you can go for a bit more fancy one up to, under $200. So there's plenty of budget options out there for our viewers. You just have to figure out which one you would like, and before you know it, people will be coming around, especially for your homemade pies.
And serve your pies with custard, guys, or ice cream. Here's Matt now.
Yeah, that's a good way for your nice sweet ones, Barry. That's what I'd probably go for, is ice cream or custard for my apple pie. But each to his own. People might want to make an apricot pie, a blueberry pie, all kinds of berries and things out there to put in there. With summer coming, Barry, nice summer fruits will be out too.
And also today on the show, we're going to be talking about how to use a sandwich press. Now, what's a sandwich press? I'm hearing you food lovers out there ask. Well, it's where you toast your sandwich inside and out. Here's Matt now.
Good old sandwich press, Barry. Yes, in winter that it gets used a lot more around my place, the old sandwich press than in summer. But yeah, just the basic one would be the bit of butter on the inside, Barry, a bit of ham and cheese. Heat your toasty press up, straight onto the pan, lid down over the top, which has also got a heating element. And yeah, a few minutes later, you have it nice, crispy and brown on the outside of your bread, and nice cheese and ham on the inside, Barry. Just got to be careful with tomato, Barry. A few people burn their lips. Don't want our viewers burning their lips out there, so be careful of the tomato, guys. It can come out piping hot.
And remember, hot cheese is really hot, guys. So try a small piece first. Here's Matt now.
That's true. That's true. Just like a hot coffee or a soup, the cheese, any wet moisture food, it can heat up really quick and it can be very hot. And we don't like getting that old burnt tongue, Barry, which I call the furry tongue. It usually stays that way for a few days because you're so eager to eat these beautiful things, even with the pies, Barry. You don't want to burn your tongue. So yeah, be careful, guys. We know it's going to taste yummy.
I just had to get myself in position there. And now it's time to talk about how to run a meeting. Now, a meeting. Let's talk about how to run a meeting. If you're having a group meeting, make sure that you have all your issues that you want to write down on paper. Here's Matt now.
That's true, Barry, especially at a meeting because it's not just your time that's important. There's all the other people in the meeting that have other things to do during the day. So, yeah, like Barry said, have your points written down, and when it's time for you to ask those questions, you'll be ready. And it's also to be a good listener too during these meetings too, Barry, to listen to what other people have to say.
And also sticking to your subject. Here's Matt now.
Depending on what the topic is for the day, correct. You don't want people asking questions that can be asked any other time during the day. Stick to the topic at hand. Plenty of managers have emails, and you can email them questions or that might have something different than the planned meeting.
So running a meeting, guys, is very important. Okay? And also later on the show, we're going to talk about how not run a meeting and recapping on the pie maker, sandwich maker. Now, the meeting, you must also make sure you organize the time and the date and the venue of the meeting. Here's Matt now.
Yeah, so always check your emails, guys, if you work for a company. Usually you'll see emails in there with specific times and dates that you're requested to be there. As with COVID, we can't be in the actual office to meet, so a lot of these are on team meetings or on Zoom. So make sure you tune in and you're alert, no falling asleep or on another device while the meeting's going on. It's an important time for people to get together and ask each other questions on relevant topics.
So don't just crap on about things that have nothing to do with the meeting. Here's my outsider.
Stick to the topics, guys. So because once people start waffling about topics that are not important, you lose people's concentration and you're wasting your boss's time.
And if something really is bothering you, which we will talk about also today in the meeting, on the show. We're going to talk about how not to run a meeting. Here's Matt now.
Yeah, that one, not to run a meeting. Well, yeah, that's usually in a meeting, Barry, there's someone that's leading the meeting. So the onus is usually on them to direct the questions and to be able to listen from the employee. So, yeah, I'm not too good at not running a meeting, Barry, but I know how to run a few in my time.
So after the break, we will talk about how not to run a meeting, and also we've got the 11 o'clock conference coming up, and to take us out of the break one more time, the Pie Maker Cookbook. Here's Matt to tell you about it.
Like Barry has been telling us, guys, if you don't have a pie maker, or go out and get one. There's plenty of options for your budget. And this Woman's Weekly one that Barry has, he's a big fan of this one. So guys, go up to your newsagent, have a look, see if it's for you, and good luck with your pie maker.
And $15 is all that it cost me yesterday. $15. Go ahead, and if you can't get it, order it online. We urge you to get a couple of good cookbooks for you and your family to flick through, okay? Because during this lockdown, you've got to keep occupied. Here's Matt now to take us out to the break with that.
Yeah, and that's true, Barry. I mean, $15, guys, it's really only 3 pies. And if you bought them or 4 pies if you bought them from a shop, whereas you can make these yourself and recoup your money back within about 3 goes quite easily, and you can feed your friends and family.
So why waste money going to a shop and buying a nasty pie with chemicals? Here's Matt now to take us out of the break with that.
Yeah, whatever you put in there, guys, you know what you put in there. So the onus is on you. If you want a healthy pie, by all means make a healthy pie. If you want one with all rubbish in there, good luck to you. But Barry and I, we like to promote good, healthy eating.
And clean food too.
Correct. Well, that's exactly right, Barry.
So after the break, not how not to run a meeting, and we'll go over some pie recipes again, so you will love it. Here's Matt now.
Yes, Barry, we've got a jam-packed show this morning, the rest of the afternoon, so stay tuned, viewers. We'll keep you up to date.
And the time is 10:30 here. Am I right?
10:30, Barry, bang on.
10:30, and we'll be back at 11:30 after the conference. Stay with us. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of our show. And today we've been talking about how to run a meeting, and now it's time to talk about how not to run a meeting. Joining me now in the studio, good afternoon, Matt Brown.
Good afternoon, Barry. Thanks for bringing me back into the studio for our second part of the day.
Well, how not to run a meeting. Okay. You mustn't run a meeting unless you're prepared. Here's Matt now for his opening sequence on this.
Yes, Barry, there's a lot of things not to do when we have meetings, but you can also help our viewers by listening. So paying attention is very important. Listening and having some constructive criticism if you've got to say anything. So that's what my advice would be, because most managers and people running these meetings like to hear what you have to say in a constructive manner. That's the most important thing there. So keep cool, calm, and collected.
And also, 1,220 cases today. Well, we will tell you about that at the end. Now, the importance of not running a meeting. Don't be rude or dishonest. Say what you feel. Speak your mind. Here's my operator.
That's right, Barry. That's the whole idea of a meeting, is for people to get together and one, listen to what the manager or your boss or whoever it is, to actually listen, come up with some ideas when asked that are obviously positive, but also some negative ones in a good light, because constructive criticism, I believe, is a positive way of fixing the root of the problem.
Okay, it's okay to have criticism, ladies and gentlemen, but at the same time, don't raise your voice and sound like you're in a protest. Here's my operator.
Yeah, exactly right, Barry. You don't need to raise your voice. You don't need to get angry, because no one's going to want to listen to you, and it could end up in a dismissal, or at very least a warning. And if no one wants to be receiving a warning letter, that's for sure, Barry.
Now, if there is a dispute between the parties, there is always a time and place. Here's my operator.
Yeah, write notes down. Keep a journal yourself, so you can look back on and go with the questions that you've asked, and also to check if they've been resolved. Have they been answered? And if not, politely write a nice letter and ask for clarification on those points.
So don't just write a nasty email to the manager. Write it concerns in a nice email. Here's my operator.
Yeah, just think before you write, guys. A lot of people don't think. They write things or do things in anger. If you just take a breath, relax, and actually think about something, and write down your questions or what problems or whatever it is, and then don't send it. Take a while. Sleep on it if you have to, if you're that wound up. It's always nice to come back with a clear mind, Barry.
So don't just get wind up and then have an outburst. Here's my operator.
Cool, calm, and collected, Barry. That's one of our mottos here. If you've got to do something, do it coolly. And you'll feel a lot better for it, don't you, Barry, when you're not stressed or angry? Your body thanks you.
And if you're unable, and don't just not turn up at the meeting, guys. Okay, this is important because there may be issues involving you or your partner. Here's my operator.
Yes, it shows a lack of respect too, as well, Barry. If there's a meeting and you're planned and scheduled to be there, make all attempts that you can to be at that meeting, because the meeting is called because there's obviously some topics that need to be discussed. So if you want to have your own feedback and help with the discussion, you need to be there. So respect.
And if you can't be there, have a good valid reason. Here's my operator.
If you can't be there, that's right. Inform someone, ring them up. Ring them up's the best option. Plan 2 would be to send an email or a text if you can't get through, explaining why you can't make the meeting. because we all have, there can be something wrong with us. And just to inform your manager to let them know is a great help, and it's showing some respect.
So now we're moving off the meeting and meeting, but before we do, being unprepared for a meeting is not good. Here's my option.
Yes, in some meetings things can get sprung on you, or certain topics there that other people have thought about, you discuss them. But that's also good. That's the whole idea of the meeting, is to discuss the topics that mean something to someone else. So, as we say, it can be positive, and it also can be positive from a negative side. So, yes, think before you speak or before you write.
And don't just not say I've got nothing to discuss, because what if you've got something bottomed up and you need to get it off your chest at the meeting? Here's my option.
Yeah, that's your opportunity to speak up. So take those opportunities to speak up, because you don't want it festering inside. Because 9 times out of 10, next time you get angry, it'll usually be at a loved one. So speak up. You've got the opportunity.
So take the opportunity while it's on the plate, or someone else will go and take it off you. Here's my option.
Yeah, the meetings are a great opportunity, Barry. Like we said, it's your chance to speak up, so let your voice be heard.
And now let's talk about this marvelous book to finish up with. Well, we open the show with the Pie Maker book. Here's Matt to tell you about it.
Barry and I are looking at that Pie Maker book over lunch and discussing what things we can make, because I was salivating this morning, Barry, at the thought of having all those nice, beautiful pies. So, yeah, guys, if you're out there and you're looking for something different to try, go and get yourself a pie maker. They range in all different budgets, from the cheap ones through to a little bit more expensive. And they're a good way to save on food rather than wasting your leftovers.
So if I can just get Matt to get the Pie Maker book, so I can show you viewers at home. There it is. Look at that. $15, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're out at the shops, go and grab a coffee. Here's my offer.
Everyone likes pies, Barry, as you and I talk about healthy pies, and that's what it's about. Everyone thinks that pies are bad, or they make you fat, or they got rubbish in them. Well, this is your opportunity to make your own. So you can put any goodies what you want in there. The choices are up to you.
So tomorrow we might even bring the Pie Maker into the studio so you can have a look at it. Here's Matt now.
That's probably not a bad idea, Barry. The Pie Maker. We should bring some ingredients in, and we could eat all the pies tomorrow. We'd just have a day of eating pies. All different types.
Now, do you remember? We've got wolf force, meat pies, kangaroos, and holding cats. Here's Matt now.
I'm just thinking of what ad that was from, Barry. Was that the Holden ad? Footballs, meat pies, kangaroos,
Yeah.
Holden cars. That's it. That's an oldie or a goodie, but yeah, meat pies, homemade meat pies, or homemade any pie, to me is a lot better option and a healthy option than buying one at the shops. And that's really what it comes down to with the Pie Maker, Barry.
So we've had a lot of fun putting the show together today. Okay, just giving you one last look at this book before we wrap up today. Look at that. So don't go to the store, ladies and gentlemen, and buy a cheap, nasty pie. Make your own. Here's my offsider.
That's it, Barry. If you can do it yourself, go and make it, because it's enjoyable making your own food. You get to prep it, get to cook it, and the most important bit, you get to eat it. And, you know, as they say, the proof is in the pudding, don't they, Barry? And that's the same with a pie. Guaranteed it'll leave a smile on your face.
Well, as we say, go ahead and get a copy of this book. $15 this cost me yesterday. Here's my offsider to tell you about it one more time.
That pie maker book. This is Barry's new Bible. He's definitely into his pie making recipe book. So if Barry thinks it's a good way for you to get healthy, I give it 5 stars, Barry. So lovely jubbly.
So don't just go out to the shop and get a cheap, nasty, crappy pie from the shop. Here's Matt now.
Yeah, the ones from the shop, guys, you know, the gourmet ones, yes, you pay for them, but the expensive and the cheap ones, I've got a lot of gristle and rubbish in there and cheap pastry. So you got all the stuff that you need to buy it already in most people's fridges or freezers. So have an attempt. It's very easy. You have no pastry, even bread. Cut off the crust. Happy days.
Happy days, guys. That's our show. Before we do go today, the number that we rely on 24 hours a day, that is 000. Please do not ring that number unless you've got an emergency. Here's my offsider to close the show with that.
Yes, guys, we always go on about the 000, but the reason we do is because it's a really important part of everyday life, and that is really what it's about, life. So please only call that number unless you're in a life-threatening situation. So,
and Lifeline is there too, so call them on 131114. That number again is 131114. And just giving you one last look at the book. There it is. And we will see you tomorrow for episode 269. You've been watching episode 268. So we will see you tomorrow for episode 269. Here's Matt now to say his farewell.
yeah, Barry, thanks for another great day in the studio, talking some great topics. Pie maker, you've made me very, very hungry today. I'm going to have to go out and see if I can clear out the cupboards and find where my pie maker is, and hopefully it works. So I'll see if that works, Barry, bring it in. But thanks for our viewers. Another good day with some good topics, Barry. Thank you.
And from us now, have a great afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9:30. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.